As I am a fourth-year business exchange student, I am about to finish my degree, so I have done many subjects such as business administration, organizational psychology, introduction to marketing, digital marketing, etc., which entail similar topics related to the ones in creativity and discovery module. So when I first come to this class, I thought, okay, this is a first-year module, I don't think I'll learn more than I already know. My expectative was not very high. But then I changed my mind. As the days have gone by, I have been learning new concepts and assimilating those I already knew. I think what has happened to me is what happens to most people. We don't know everything that the concepts of creativity, discovery, and innovation encompass, neither the use that we can give to them in our everyday life. As I've been saying through this reflective journal showcase collection, I had always related creativity with an ability that few people have, but most want to. Creative people have the ability to create new and original things or ideas, which have never been seen before, that are out of the ordinary, even we could say weird. I always thought creativity was more affine around the fields of arts, such as painting, writing, dancing, music, sciences, technologies, as well as in certain areas of jobs that require it. However, I have learned that all the creativity is something innate we all have. Since we're born, whether it is more or less developed, it can be trained. It is said that we are more creative when we are children. This may be due to the fact that children have no worries. They simply care about playing, running, jumping, drawing, painting, and that's what we do on kindergarten, while an adult has many more worries and responsibilities, whether family or work. Thus, education, advertising, and politics have a notarial influence on what we think or see, and that is because our perception is produced mainly in brain itself, but also comes from outside information. Through our life experiences and learning process during school, we develop critical thinking skills, so our brain and therefore our behavior follow patterns that are difficult to break when it comes to solve a problem or make a decision. And these patterns build confidence in our understanding of how the world works and gives us a feeling of control. Unfortunately, even when none are intended, patterns emerge and we are creating us a kind of mental barrier. We tend to be more focused on the factual side rather than the one creative of things we see or hear, and this is why we often do not perceive what it is really or what it could be. The creative perception is an important skill I learned and I need to train, because our perception, that is to say how we interpret and explore the world around us, can change reality. Also, I have realized that another creative skill I need to train is postponing judgment, because it is a common mistake that holds me back when it comes to being creative. Judgment is very important because it directs our thoughts and actions, and we use it constantly since we learn how to judge from childhood. So I must learn to be open at any idea, that is to say, to think outside the box, even think as there was no box. It means we must learn to think without limits, and as it is easy to say, it is not to do. But even the rarest of the ideas could become the right one. This might be the skill I should practice more, because I have realized I always tend to judge before anything, and before I think, and sometimes in a negative way, so I get stuck and nothing comes up to my mind. In relation to this, I got many creative techniques to problem solving or decision making. We just sometimes find ourselves in situations where we must make a decision or solve a problem, and we always tend to do the first thing that comes up to our minds, or we try to deal with it doing something we did before and worked. However, I have learned and checked, we cannot solve all problems the same way. These techniques are systematic problem solving, but I think it is the most complex and requires a long time. The mind mapping, which I think is the most interesting one, useful and easy to do. Then the fishbone diagram, which is quite similar, but it is more useful when finding causes to a determinant effect. And finally, the 6 thinking hats, which I think is useful for decision making since each hat focuses on different facts. The last thing I take from this module is what we have learned about the importance of creativity in businesses. The techniques they use to come up with ideas, to capture the target market, and so on. Although I knew most of them, I have now a clearer perspective about that, and I think it will help me in the future because I want to study marketing when I finish my bachelor's degree. I think these are the main ideas I got from the module. I think that I didn't know anything about it, and I have realized that can be important to take into account in my everyday life, and I found many things I didn't know I was doing wrong. I have learned that simple things such as writing the shopping list, listening to music, writing a diary, or whatever we daily do develops our creativity. So I don't have excuses. I can and I must train my creativity. In resume, I really have learned about myself and my skills from participating in this module. And as far as I have to improve many things, I have discovered I am also a creative person, even when I play the piano, as I use creativity skills to do so.